You can watch me when I fall, when I cry, when I get shot, when I go to jail, when I die. You can watch.
MAKAVELI in this. Your homie Gab is in the building.
It's Big Pimpin, baby.
And if it was something that Pimp thought that Tupac wouldn't do, Pimp wouldn't do it.
He was very conflicted about doing the song with Jay-Z.
Now what y'all know about the Texas boys coming down to Candy Toy? Your ears tell you when it's not hitting the speaker right, man. And they know when they leave the studio it's not right. So you got trash in the South, but everything on the East ain't just jamming either. Believe me, I'm listening. I'm at the internet. I know what's going down. And for the record, I spent a whole bunch of time in Brooklyn.
Big Pimpin shoot, and you said like how Pimp C didn't want to go at first, and there was some tension. He missed the yacht shoot, and then you end up driving him down to Miami.
He didn't want to do the song at first, so a few people, including myself, were like, "Do it, do it, do it." Bun B was talking to it. I don't know what his mother's stance was at the time, but it was a few people going, "It's Jay-Z, man. It's big. Like, do it. It's
A 5 times platinum Jay-Z.
Jay-Z had just done Hard Knock Life, so he was the biggest thing since sliced bread in hip hop at the time. He had a really big following. But Pimp used to have a picture on his wall of Tupac. And whenever you would ask him something that required deep thought, he would look at the picture. And it would be like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm asking Pac what he think." He was very, very aligned in with the personality of Tupac, not really the musician, but the character of Tupac, the personality, and how he carried himself as a man in the world and in the culture. And if it was something that Pimp thought that Tupac wouldn't do, Pimp wouldn't do it.
He was very conflicted about doing the song with Jay-Z. And people who love that song and know that song, like, what are you talking about? That was like one of the biggest records UGK was ever on. So it turns out his only logic for not wanting to be on that song was all about Tupac. I'm still to this day trying to find out, has Pimp C ever met Tupac? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, I don't know. But he said, "I'm not fucking with nobody that did with Tupac." When I tell you he was dead ass serious, like if there was a list of people that ever said something bad about Tupac, or Tupac ever said something bad about you, and Pimp C had that list, anybody on that list was never gonna be his friend. Because whatever Pac meant to him, whatever their friendship was, or wasn't, or whatever it was, like literally, he was like, "You ain't with Tupac, I ain't with you." That was a law. Like, it was not to be compromised. And if you hear the stories about how they got him on Big Pimpin', it was a lot of back and forth.
And Pimp was concerned that people who had never heard of UGK, who would have heard this record, would have had a preconceived notion about our sound, which was crafted by Pimp C, who had basically given his whole life over to creating this individualistic sound. And he wasn't crazy about the beat at all either. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "I ain't really got no problem with Timbaland, but that shit not jamming." And so I kind of had to use reverse psychology. I was like, "Well, fuck it. If you don't want to do it, we won't do it. We'll just miss out on this big ass opportunity." So then it became, "All right, B, I'm going to do it, but I ain't giving him but 8 bars." So I kind of overcompensated for him not being on it. So that's why my verse is so long and his verse is so short.
He did the song, and then the video shoot was going down, and people, I don't know who it was calling at the time. It could have been the management. They were like, "He'll do whatever you say, Short. He'll roll with you." And they just, it wasn't no money involved, no nothing. They was just like, "Get him to the video." I felt like for the culture, not using a phrase like that back then, but I just felt for hip hop, it was the thing to do. We got to get Pimp C to the Big Pimpin' video. And we just took that little road trip, man. It was one of our better, buddy trips where you like we took 2 different cars, we ride down, we stayed in Miami for like 2 weeks. We just kicked it, man. It was just a cool little adventure to go on with the homie, and the video's a classic.
I was one of the people saying, "Man, just do it, do it, do it." So literally, they were shooting the video to Big Pimpin'. Go look at the video, you'll see Bun B and Jay-Z and Dame Dash, they riding on like carnival floats, and I think they're in Trinidad somewhere. He missed the fucking video shoot in Trinidad. It's carnival. Like, who the fuck would be like, "I'm not going with Jay-Z and Dame Dash to carnival with a bunch of naked girls shoot a video"? Who's like, "No, Pimp C. So it's a 9-10 hour drive from Atlanta to Miami, and I gotta get this to Miami. He wants to go, but he don't want to go, but he ain't tripping, but we gotta stop here, we gotta do shit. And I'm right, we finna go to Miami. We gonna shit, I'm trying to do everything in the world. So finally, something about us driving the cars down and hanging out after the video, stay in Miami and ball, that's the deciding factor. Not getting on the plane, not getting to the video, not Jay-Z, not the bitches, not Dame Dash, not the song. We're gonna take the whips down and floss in Miami. Let's go do this shit. So we go on this long ass fucking journey. We probably stayed in Miami for 2 weeks after the video shoot.
And from a publishing aspect, we actually at the time had more of the song than he did. So that's why you hear a version where there's extra lyrics on the song, because that kind of evened up the split on the song. But then we ended up doing it as a work for hire anyway. So when they got sued for the song, we didn't get sued.
Yeah, so it turned out to be an iconic moment, and I'm glad I helped save that moment, because I don't know what they probably would have did pickup shots later and talked them into it, but that 2-day shoot, I don't know how long they shot in Trinidad or wherever they was at, but that shoot in Miami was amazing, and they said the other shoot was even better. So they were at Carnival shooting.
Well, were you worried that when you got there that there was gonna be some tension during the shoot, or was there any? Did you think you'd have to just stay on Pimp C's side and there was gonna be weird energy with Ho?
Nah, it was all family, man. C is a real cool dude. He might get to barking and stuff, but if he's there to work, he's gonna do the work and kick it. He was not acting like a diva or anything like that, or complaining or upset. He just got on the set, did his Pimp C thing. It was all love, because it was open arms when we got there. Dame Dash was kind of running the show, and then Jay-Z's, the big dog, and it was a big shoot. It was women everywhere. I don't know how you could get in that environment and be anything except in a good mood. It was the baddest bitches in Miami at the time on that set.